Today we're going to take a quick look at Whiteboard.fi. This is a website that seems to be becoming more and more popular amongst staff and teachers, and for good reason. There's a lot of great things you can do with this website. It's a great way to formatively assess students, and today what we're going to specifically look at is how I can use this website and this tech tool to differentiate the questions that I send out to students, which helps me better analyze and better assess students who are working at various levels on a particular scale. So to start with, you'd go to Whiteboard.fi. This is a 100% free tech tool, which is really awesome. And there's an option right away that says new class. For your students, when they come to the website, they would join the class and you'll have a code to give them. But for us, we're gonna go for a new class. We would create our class and determine the settings that we want. The waiting room is very similar to Teams. I will say the manual save mode for students should only be used if they are having difficulty with their Wi-Fi, as it does run a little bit better and smoother. However, what this means is that they will have to manually save their work for you as the teacher to view it. Where in the default mode, you can see their work as they are working on their whiteboard. Once I've decided my settings and name my class, I'm gonna go ahead and create my class. Very similar to what you'd get with Kahoot or Nearpod, you're going to have a room code up here at the top that kids can type in if they go straight to the website, or I could just copy and paste the URL into my Teams chat for the class, and they will be able to access my classroom. When students go to the website, they'll be asked to enter their name. I highly encourage you to have them enter their actual name and avoid nicknames for a lot of reasons, but mainly that's how you're going to know which student is ready for which question on the scale. Now, I will say before we move on that my comfort level is with the math scales, but please know that these steps, as well as this tool in general, could be applied to any content area and any scale which you are progressing through and assessing on. When you first log into your class, you'll have a blank whiteboard. I will say there are a lot of different tools, different things you can do to really customize this screen. And what I would recommend is if you just YouTube and you search Whiteboard.fi, there are several videos on YouTube that really look in-depthly at what each of these are. But for our learning today, we're going to focus strictly on using this with scales. So we've got this blank whiteboard, let's put some questions in. So it does take a little bit of planning up front what questions you want. As I start to load questions, again, these are going to be math questions. I want a couple that are on target, the target that I've been looking at. I want a question that maybe backs down to a level 2 that I could differentiate for those students. And I'm going to even include a question that goes up to a level 4 for those students who are ready to move on to something even more challenging above and beyond what the grade level target is asking. So I'm going to go ahead and start inserting some questions in here. So the first question I've copied and pasted is my 3.0 level. I'm not going to show moving every question over, but I do want to show you guys this. Right now, if I send this out to students, they have the ability to move stuff around, and we do not want that. So one little pro tip is to come up here to where these papers are stacked, and if I click on that, I have the option to flatten image. When it flattens, that makes it so it can't be moved around. So this would be my on target level 3.0 that I'm going to push out. I'm going to go ahead and grab another 3.0 question, a 2.0 question, and a 4.0 question, and then we'll get moving. I've gone through and I have 2 level 3 questions. I have a level 2 question that kind of breaks up the very first question I'm going to send out, and then I have a level 4 question. And again, this is where it's powerful, is I have the option of who I want to give different questions to. So if this was my class and I have my 3 students down here, I've got Baker, Jalen, and Kyler, I'm going to send out this first level 3 question to all of the students, and we'll gauge where they're at. Because remember, with scales, we want to assess at the target. So I'm going to give them this target and then adjust accordingly based on their performance. So up here at the top right, I see the word push. I can hit push. Now I don't want to push all the pages. I only want to push the current page that I am on as the teacher. So I'm going to go ahead and push this. You'll get a little notification. And you can also check by coming down here below, and you can see what your students have received. So you can see my 3 students have received this first level 3 question. So I'm going to go ahead and give Baker, Jalen, and Kyler just a few minutes to work through this problem. Then from their work, I can decide where I want to go and what I want to give them. So as you can see, each student's work shows up on their whiteboard down below. If I was having a hard time seeing their work, I could click on an individual student's board and I have it up close. Now, again, we're thinking of this in the scales references of how I can differentiate and give different students work based on their levels. So I'm going to show you what this could look like. So looking at Baker's, he's really on the right track. He's just missing one other portion of this problem of this shape that would completely make his work correct. So what I could do is on Teams, I might unmute and say something to Baker specifically and just say, hey Baker, double check your formula. I'm going to give you another level 3 question to try this out on. So again, he's really close. He's just not quite perfect on his level 3 understanding. So I'm going to come back over here and I want Baker to get this other level 3 question. So I'm going to click on it. I can come back down to Baker and I'm going to go into actions and I'm going to push my whiteboard to the student, the current page that I just clicked on. It's going to send it out, and then when I close out of here, what I see is that Baker now has his new question. He's going to retry a 3.0 level question and see if he can fully master it. If I look at Jalen just multiplied our 3 numbers. So he's a long way off from being at the level 3 understanding. So what I might do with Jalen is I might back him up a little bit and give him this level 2 question that really breaks up what we're asking them to do in this problem, and then give him a second chance at it here in just a minute. So I've selected the question I want to give to Jalen. I'm going to click on Jalen, actions, and I'm going to push the whiteboard that I just did. When I close out, I can see that Jalen now has that level 2 question that he can be working on. Then I come over here to Kyler and I can see from Kyler's work he nailed it. He's got his level 3 understanding. What I might do with Kyler then is I might come up here to our level 4 question. I'm going to click on that one and then I'm going to push my level 4 question. Again, I'm just doing the teacher whiteboard, current page. I'm going to push that one out to Kyler. So as you can see now, I have students that are working on different levels based on their understanding of the target on the scale. And I can really continue this process. So the goal obviously would be for Jalen to get this level 2 and then get another level 3 question to try and go back and correct his mistakes. Same with Baker. If Baker understands or if Baker gets this level 3 correct, then I might give him the level 4 as well. Remember that in an SRG system, any of this work that we're doing where we are specifically looking at what students can demonstrate and what they understand, all of this counts as an assessment piece that we can use to determine a student's level of understanding on a scale. The other great thing is, let's say I'm done with this class, they've gone through, they've worked this out, and I want to save their final whiteboard that they worked up to during our time. What I can do is I can come up here and this little gear lever, I can select the drop down, and under these options is save all whiteboards as a PDF. So what this is going to do though is it's going to save their last whiteboard that they worked on as a PDF option. So I don't have to try and remember where every kid left off. I can click save as a PDF. I can name it 4th hour whiteboards or whatever you want to name it. I can save it as a PDF, and I will automatically have a file that has their final whiteboards, what they worked up to, what the final thing they showed me during class. And I could use this to help score them a final time on this target and assessment. So again, this was just a quick look at how you can use the website Whiteboard.fi as a great assessment tool to give students questions that fit their exact learning level on a given scale target. I hope that you guys will give this a shot with your students next time you're looking for a quick and easy way to assess them on a scale target.